Ever since I could remember, I've always been a shy kid. The thought of standing up in front of a crowd, even if it was just for show and tell in elementary school, made my stomach turn. As I grew older, my shyness morphed into social anxiety, which made it even harder for me to speak up in class. It wasn't that I didn't know the answer. I was just too scared to raise my hand. My high school English class was no different. I was always in awe of the students who could confidently participate in class discussions. They could share their thoughts and ideas without any hesitation, but I could never do the same. It wasn't until Miss Johnson, my English teacher, assigned us a group project that I started to see a change in myself. The project was simple. We had to present on a book we had read over the semester. My group members were all talkative and outgoing, so they quickly divided up the work and began brainstorming ideas. I, on the other hand, just nodded along, not wanting to be a burden or seem difficult. But as we started to discuss our ideas, I realized that I had a lot to contribute. I had read the book just like they had, and I had my own unique perspective on the story. So I mustered up the courage to share my thoughts. It wasn't easy, but I felt proud of myself for speaking up. Over the next few weeks, I started to feel more comfortable sharing my opinions in class discussions. Miss Johnson noticed and encouraged me to keep speaking up. She even suggested that I participate in the school's debate club. At first, I was hesitant. The thought of debating in front of a crowd was terrifying, but Miss Johnson believed in me, so I decided to give it a try. At the first meeting, I was nervous, but everyone was welcoming and friendly. We started with simple debates on current events and eventually worked our way up to more complex topics. With each debate, I felt my confidence growing. I realized that I had a voice, and it was worth hearing. One day, Miss Johnson pulled me aside after class. "I've noticed a change in you," she said. "You're more confident and willing to share your ideas. I'm proud of you." I felt a rush of gratitude and joy wash over me. Miss Johnson had been the catalyst for my growth, and I was thankful for her support. The debate club had become a highlight of my week. I was no longer afraid to speak up in class, and I found that I was making friends with people who shared my interests. But as the school year came to a close, I started to feel anxious again. What if my newfound confidence disappeared over the summer? What if I reverted back to my shy, introverted self? Miss Johnson noticed my anxiety and suggested that I see a therapist over the summer. At first, I was reluctant. Therapy seemed like something only broken people needed. But Miss Johnson reminded me that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that everyone can benefit from therapy. So I agreed to see a therapist. The first session was awkward, but as time went on, I found that therapy was helping me process my anxiety and gain new insights into myself. I learned that my shyness and anxiety were not flaws, but just a part of who I am. It was a lesson in self-acceptance. The summer flew by, and before I knew it, the school year had started again. I was excited to see my debate club friends and share my thoughts in class discussions. But the first day of school brought a new challenge. Miss Johnson had assigned us a persuasive speech on a topic of our choice. I was excited, but also nervous. Public speaking was still a challenge for me, even though I had come a long way. I decided to choose a topic that was close to my heart: mental health awareness. I wanted to share my story with my classmates and encourage them to seek help if they were struggling. As I researched and wrote my speech, I realized that I had come a long way from the shy, introverted kid I used to be. The day of the speech arrived, and my heart was racing as I stood in front of the class. But as I began to speak, I felt a sense of calm wash over me. I shared my story with honesty and vulnerability, and to my surprise, I saw nods of understanding and agreement from my classmates. After class, a few students came up to me and thanked me for sharing my story. They shared their own struggles with mental health and how my speech had inspired them to seek help. It was a moment of connection and community that I never thought was possible. As the school year continued, I continued to grow and challenge myself. I even started a mental health awareness club at school, and we organized events to raise awareness and reduce the stigma around mental health. It was a passion project that gave me purpose and meaning. Looking back, I realized that my journey to self-acceptance and confidence wasn't easy, but it was worth it. I learned that it's okay to be who you are, and that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. I was grateful for Miss Johnson's support and guidance, and I knew that I wouldn't be where I am today without her. As I graduated from high school and prepared to start a new chapter in my life, I felt proud of the person I had become. I knew that I still had a lot to learn and grow, but I was excited for the journey ahead. And I knew that whatever challenges came my way, I had the strength and resilience to overcome them, one step at a time.